welcome back to Devils United first club football preview. Get in, and what better to do it with than Dan? Dan, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Got to keep smiling. Christmas round the corner. Get to see the kids smile. That's the main thing. But yeah, glad to be back on the channel. Glad to see two Lancastrian stalwarts take on each other. Northwest teams. You'll be annoyed if I call you Lancashire. You know, Greater Manchester and all that.
Call
one
us
of
the
your
Manx.
own. It's short for Manky people. That's what it is. No, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, we've had a bit of an upper hand with having 2 extra game weeks, but cup football. I'm still looking forward to it, no matter what.
Yes, absolutely. Before we get on to the show, we'll quickly jump into the comments. Hey there, Reese. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, Rabbi. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, Henry. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in, and you're very welcome. Anytime, happy to support. Henry has recently started the channel, so go and check Henry's channel out. Done the first show today, and it was a very good show. It's fantastic. Hey there, Niall. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Reese and Niall are talking about poopy Rangers.
Scottish bullshit. Is that what we're on?
That's right. Hey there, Nippon. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat.
They do realise this is a football channel, don't they? Like proper football. I mean, like real football.
Yeah, like not poop football.
Yeah, none of this table football ball crap. Honestly, I've scored better goals playing Sabutio. And faster.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Hey there, just me. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, it's a couples thing. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Burnley for this year, you've been on a high, haven't you? Really, if you see
all the way up there somewhere.
Yeah, top of the league. I'm sure you're absolutely thrilled about it as well, because I think the thing is, a lot of people doubted Rangers when they got relegated. Say, well, if you're gonna play like this, you ain't getting anywhere in this Championship team.
Yeah. To be fair, I felt so dejected when we got relegated, because I was almost like, there was all the rumours of a loan that we had to pay back in full if we get relegated, which was around 60 odd million. And then obviously you start to panic. What does that mean for the club? This is an owner that's just bought the club through COVID times, through similar to the way to the Glazers did it with you guys, for a leveraged buyout. Basically buy the club on debt and hope that it pays out in the long run. But I think that it's just been positive signs. It's sort of just gradually got better. I thought at first we potentially could be staring relegation after relegation in the face, but we sold, 13 players, made around 60 to 70 million in transfer revenue, and brought in, sold 13 players. Made about 60 to 70 million in revenue and brought in 16 players and didn't even break the 20 million pound mark, which, to do that and completely just have the success we've had. I'll be honest now, I said it before, I'll say it again. Even when Dash came to the club, I was like, bloody hell, Burnley, what are you doing going for the cheap option? Luckily, I've deleted those Facebook memories now, so I don't have to hear them. But then I've also, in regards to company, I would have preferred Rooney at the time, because I thought he had a bit more knowledge of the English leagues and had that little taste of Championship with Derby. So I thought he'd have been the better option. And plus, I didn't think company would have come after relegation. I thought if we'd have stayed up, maybe. But he stuck true to his word, came to the club, and it's just been success after success ever since.
Yeah, most definitely. Those crackling people were saying in the chat, I've took my headphones off. I hope it's a little bit better.
Was it? If it's me, let me know.
No, I think it was that. I think it was me, the crackling noise. So, my headset's off, so I can't hear anything. So I'm hoping that it's completely gone. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Wayne Rooney, he did do a magnificent job at Derby. Because if they never had that point reduction, they would have never been relegated. They would never been relegated. They probably would have been mid-table probably in the
Yeah.
Championship. But the thing is you had so many players and quite older players as well playing quite defensive football. And the thing is, what I have noticed is that I feel like Vincent Kompany has changed the tactics, the way he's played into a whole different kind of way to bring it into more. I don't want to say modern football because that sounds really horrible.
No,
But
I totally agree with you though. I agree with what you're trying to say, because we have gone from that old dying sort of breed of football where it's 4-4-2, lump it long, and it's just sort of, you just do what you do. However, on the flip side, I look at it and think every time someone plays Burnley, it always seems to be a bad thing. But when Atletico Madrid do it and get success and play well in La Liga, Diego Simeone is a master tactician. When Mourinho is playing park the bus football, master tactician. Sean Dyche does it. It's boring. Go away. Get out the Premier League. It's like, why pick on us just because we're small fry? That said, though, I do think that it has changed drastically, and it's weird, and we've had to adapt quickly, because we all know that football in this division, and even in the top league, we are the top scorers of English football at the minute. We have scored more goals than Manchester City, which is saying something when you've got Erling Haaland, who's practically we are the top scorers in every division of English football. I think we've got 43. Might even have more now after the game the other day, and City only have 40.
46 goals.
46 now, yeah.
54.
Yeah, so we scored 46, and I think Man City are on 40 for goals this season so far. So, yeah, I've got to be happy with it. I think there's a few things that we need to tweak, but Kompany's literally just put an imprint on the club, not really put a full stamp on it yet. So there's still a way to go, and I've done that thing at Burnley at the moment. We've got 5 or 6 loan players in the club, and I've fallen in love with every bloody one of them.
Yeah, that's the thing though. When you get loan players, and one of them you loaned, isn't he from Man City? Is it CJ, the one who you've loaned from Man City?
He's permanent.
Oh, he's permanent. Oh,
CJ Egan Riley. He's not really had much game time, to be fair. With him only being a young lad, but we signed him permanently. We've signed Muric, the goalkeeper, permanently from Man City as well. But they've got a clause in his contract that basically, if he comes good or too good for Burnley, they can buy him back for cheaper. Sneaky little bastards. But I think they'll do that with Taylor Harwood-Bellis as well, because now that they signed Akanji, I think it also, Harwood-Bellis will be thinking, right, hold on a minute, you've shipped me out on loan, signed another centre-back, where do I fit into the picture? So I think we may also get him on a structured deal when the loan comes about. But yeah, we've got him on loan, Teller on loan from Southampton, Jordan Bayer on loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Who else is on loan? Oh, Ian Matson from Chelsea. I'm trying to think where else. Right back we covered. Right wing. No, everyone else is permanent, I think. Oh no, Halil Dervisoglu up front. I think we're sending him back in January anyhow to Brentford, so he don't get much game time.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you could get promoted, there's no reason why you couldn't even put him as a permanent, really, because I think that was the downfall of Nottingham Forest. They had too many loan players, and then they've all been sent back, and they didn't get any of them the same again, so they had to find 20 odd players, but because a lot of contracts were also. But the thing is that you've got a more permanent team, so if you lose a couple of players, you'll be able to find a couple of players. And what I've also liked about Vincent Kompany, as well as finding youth players, is that I love the kind of formation you're using as well, and that you've lost a lot of players, but it's not seemed to have really phased him, because I know that you was very unhappy over Nathan Collins. But
Yeah.
I think more than anything, you've not probably noticed as a Burnley supporter as well, is that who's truly loyal to Burnley now.
Yeah, I think we even saw an interview recently with Ben Mee, and he sort of spat a few of the home truths out that were happening at Burnley towards the back end of like Darsh's tenure. And he was saying things like, at first when he came to the club, the manager was very approachable. You could say anything and everything to him, but towards the back end, he was almost like really standoffish. You don't want that. You don't need that as your manager. You know, you want to be seen as approachable, someone who can, you can lay all your problems on. And then when you leave that training ground, you feel a bit better for talking to someone, not bottling it because your manager couldn't give a shit. So there was that. He also said that Burnley did offer him a contract, and he said he'd have stayed at the club for the rest of his life if he could. He said, but he knew that he had one final crack at potentially playing in the Premier League. And I always thought Ben Mee, for me, has been extremely unlucky in his career never to have received an England call-up. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Better than some of the shark like Ben White and Connor Cody and things like that. Tyrone Mings, I mean, can we call him a footballer? So, yeah, I feel aggrieved with that. But we've been known as a defensive unit. That's what we've been known for. That, Ben Mee and Tarks at the back, they're strong enough. If we can break down that low block. But like I said, the formation has shifted a little bit. We're playing a very high line. We're playing the ball out from the back. What's all that about? Like, we're actually creating pockets of space, being able to turn a man. And yeah, it's just wow.
Let's jump into the comments. I know there's some questions in there as well. Reese said, Rangers play real football, you on coke.
No, T.
Let's be honest. We both agree. Rangers play crap football. Look at the gap between you and Celtic, and then come back to us.
Yeah, or should I say the other team? That's what your manager said. The other team.
The other team. Nippon said, Daniel not holding back today.
Oh, I've got roll with the punches. That's what it is. If you don't, you cry. And I've done enough of that. So
he's called Daniel Balboa.
Yeah. More like Daniel Balbun, because I'm a little fat puffy thing that if you put me in steam, I just blow up.
No, not at all. Hey there to my dad. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in.
How you doing, Rob?
Thank you very much, Henry. Means a lot. Reese said, took Burnley until 2022 to earn my respect. He's a secret Burnley fan, by the way. Like, I got it out of him, but he is. But he
well,
won't
that's the thing, though. How many people crawled out of the woodwork as soon as Dash was sacked? Everyone's like, oh, I kind of like Burnley now. It's like, what the hell?
Hey there, I like coffee. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. I like the new profile picture with the little gingerbread man and stuff. Very, very cute. Nippon has a question for you. What would hurt more, Burnley getting relegated to League One or Blackburn getting promoted to the Premier League?
I think Burnley getting relegated to League One, because you can be peed off at Blackburn getting promoted, but the actual physical hurt you feel at seeing your own team it's a lot different. A lot different. So, like I say, there's more chance of them going to League One than there is us going to League One, unless something absolutely ridiculous happens after New Year. Then, yeah, I can't see it happening, but it has to be Burnley getting relegated that I'd be more hurt about.
Can't see Burnley getting relegated. The way they're playing, you can't see it. But I suppose
No.
you'd like it both, where both Burnley was promoted and Blackburn was relegated.
To be
Looking at
fair,
it, though, Blackburn's doing well.
though, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, they've not done too bad. They got that 2-0 win against Norwich the other night. Former Burnley defender goes and scores an own goal. Well done, Ben Gibson. Arsehole of the Year award goes to you. To be fair, he was shit for Burnley anyway. We signed him for something like 15 million from Borough. He spat his dummy out because he weren't getting in ahead of Tarkowski or me and said he wanted to leave. So we sent him on loan to Norwich. He signed for them on perm, and then he goes and does that. But he's, they are doing well, under their new manager, John Dalton. So there's part of me that thinks I wouldn't mind them coming up with us because then we can keep that rivalry going the 2 games a season. But then I also want them to stay down because it's like, whoa, mind the gap, boys, forever in our shadow. Stay where you are.
Definitely, because looking at it, they're currently in 3rd, so they'll be in the playoffs, wouldn't they? And it's Sheffield United who's in 2nd place. But Blackburn, they're the only ones who hasn't picked up a draw all season, and that's actually a pretty good achievement, either won or lost.
To be fair, their performance at the Turf prior to the World Cup was nothing short of shocking. Like, really, really bad. Like, you would not think they were a team that were 3rd in the division. Like, Ben Brereton Diaz, the fake Chilean git, right? I could stick Diaz at the end of my name and call myself Chilean. In fact, I could call myself Chilean anyway. There's no heating on in this house, so I'm bloody freezing. So I'm a chilly one as it is.
So am I.
In fact, I've got confirmation Kate's actually put the heating on. You can tell it's Christmas. That's my gift, is it? My gift is the heating on. Yay! Get this hoodie off in a minute then. It's too bloody warm. But no, I am... they were poor. They were poor, and their results are so hit and miss as well. And I think that's going to cost them. I think that's going to cost them in the long run. I don't think they'll be even in or around the playoffs come the end of the season.
That'd be interesting. That because there was the same last season, and then that happened. They didn't get in, so
no, that's true.
We'll have to wait and see. Hey there, Solo. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, Kate. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. I'm very well, thank you. Brendan's in the chat. Hey there, Brendan. I hope you're well. I thought he was the love child of Ed Sheeran and Jurgen Klopp. I wouldn't say that, Dan.
I mean, the first one I can just about manage, but Jurgen Klopp, no chance. I'm not having it.
I would be insulted as well if I was you. Ravi asked, will Burnley surprise United in the game? And that is something I wanted to touch on because I just wanted to know on who's your big game changers, who could be the difference between going into extra time and getting a win, or getting a win from a loss to a win.
It's sort of hard to say because we've not really seen many losses, and when we have lost, apart from the Sheffield United game where we just honestly that were a shocker. I think we had the loss to we lost to Watford. That's the only other team we've lost to this season. But I just obviously we've had Anas Sarori out at the World Cup with Morocco. He's been brilliant. When we signed him, he was a Belgium under-21 international. Martinez kept telling him, "We want you to stay on at Belgium because we think you're going to actually break into the first team soon." But if a nation comes calling saying they're going to call you up for the World Cup and you've got ties to them, you're going to go. So I don't blame him for that. So he won't be there for that game because I think he's in Morocco at the moment, having I don't know, flaming champagne with a king or whatever out there, doing whatever he's doing. And you'd have to look at players like Teller I think Jay Rodriguez has been brilliant, and he always grabs a goal or something at Old Trafford. He's notorious for it. I'd have to say Teller if he's back, because I know he was ruled out of the game that we won the other night against Middlesbrough due to, I think, bad cold. Who hasn't had a cold or flu recently, to be fair? So he was ruled out for that. Vitinho has cracked ribs, so I think he may be a doubt. I just think we are quite solid all over the park at the moment. And I think even from the bench, company said that throughout that World Cup, now that we're back, every player is in contention, obviously apart from those two recently. But we're yet to see the best of Scott Twine. He's only just come back.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask about Scott Twine as well, because I've heard a lot of good things about him, because he's a player from, is it MK Dons, I believe?
Yeah, came from MK Dons. We spent 4 million on him. I think he was the highest paid player we bought in the window. And he played 15 minutes against Huddersfield on the opening day of the season. And after that, we didn't see him again until literally the game prior to Middlesbrough. And even then, he only had, I think he had about 5 minutes. Then this was the best bit though. Came on against Borough the other night. Came on, thought, he's going to get a good 20, 25 minutes here in the second half. This should be good. I mean, we're already 3-0 up at the time. And he 3-1 up. And then I think he were on the pitch for 11 minutes, and then he got subbed off. But that was but in a way, we did have a player sent off. So I think he had to be the sacrifice to make way for another defender.
Do you know Scott Twine? Is it more of a 10 role, or would you say he's more of an 8? Just to ask.
I couldn't really say. I think because we've not seen enough of what he's capable of in either position. When that 15-minute role against Huddersfield, we were all a bit like, "Whoa, this boy's got a bit of something in his locker." And I think he played up front when he came on against Borough for that 11 minutes. But by that point, it was just a case of we were controlling the ball, passing it around left, right, and centre. We didn't really need to do anything when you're already 3-1 up. I think if we see him start, he could potentially start tomorrow, to be honest. I just think if he is going to rotate, it's players like him that's probably going to be in there. But we are yet to see the best of him. And sometimes a big game like this at Old Trafford, some of these new foreigners or young lads, they're just going to be well up for it.
Yeah, 100%. And there was one more thing about Vincent Kompany before I go back into the comments. Substitutes. I'm one of them. I'm a little fusspot when it comes to substitutes. I always say, right, if we're losing, depending on what the score is against, we should be making substitutes at such a time. But then if we're okay, make a substitute at such a time. Why not make a substitute then? I really hate it. And you'll probably hate it from Gareth Southgate is when you put a player on 2 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
I hate it. And how's Vincent Kompany with his substitutes? Is he one of them where he's good with his time management for substitutes?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think obviously compared to Dash, who didn't like bringing a substitute on, which really peed everybody off. It's sort of around 55, 60 minutes. I think that's when he goes, right, okay, we'll take you off because, we don't want to risk an injury with the next game coming up or something. But it's the fact that we've also got that quality on the bench now, which we didn't have before. We had to make up the numbers with these has-been former Premier players that were like 35, 36, just rocking up on the bench, thinking it's a final payday. I mean, Peter Crouch is not really ripping anything up at Stoke, but is now at Burnley in the Prem and just, taking a payday. We've now got young, hungry players that can come on and sort of slot right in. His substitutions have been remarkable. In fact, Me and him are so like that on a wavelength with substitutions. It is unreal. I went on a game not so long back, and I said to my mates, Dad, I said, we need to change it. In fact, I think we were against Rotherham or someone like that, and we were 2-1 down. We ended up winning the game 3-2 in the last kick of the game, dying minutes. And I said, what we need to do is we need to push Teller forward, take Cherlinov off or something like that on the left, and bring two other people into the fray, but play him just behind. My mate's dad just looked at me and went, "That's why you're up here and he's down there." Not even 5 minutes later, Company did exactly what I said, and he just looked at me and I just went, and I just just give me the suit, give me the contract, I'll sign it. I don't care, I'll do it.
Vincent Kompany's number 2.
Better than Craig Bellamy. I mean, to be fair, he's that's another weird one. Having a former Blackburn player as your assistant manager, what's all that about? And he played for Liverpool. I mean, come on, he's not really. And City. I mean, Jesus, do I want to sink any lower?
Basically, you've got a number 2 who's been absolutely everywhere.
Yep, like I say, shit in a field.
Doesn't sound like you're very appealed with the number 2, but
can't beat a good number 2. But yeah, is he a good number 2?
Good question, but we'll put you as that number 2 anyway.
I am the shit. I am the number 2. I am the shit.
Yes, you are the man. You're the man. Hey there, my queen. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Ravi asked, will United find it a physical battle? I think, you know what? I absolutely hate going to, I know it's at Old Trafford, but I've always hated going to Turf Moor. Turf Moor, for me, it's on level with Southampton. Yet you've been lucky to get a point at that ground. It's so hard, and Burnley always puts on like a whole level, different level performance at Turf Moor. You're absolutely fantastic on there, and I think for me, you've got fantastic midfielders. You still got experienced midfielders. Is it Jack Cork? Jack Cork's still there, isn't there?
Yeah, Jack Cork's still there. We've still got Ashley Westwood still coming back.
Yes.
He's on the grass as well, but he's not really ready for a full 90 minutes. But he's another player that's experienced in the middle of the park as well.
100%. And I think when you look at them two type of midfielders of experience, and Jack Cork for me is a proper defensive midfielder in my eyes, where he's happy to stand in front of the centre backs and defend. Is that like extra little bit of defence there for you? And I think it could be quite physical depending on who you bring through, but I'm not overly familiar too much with the start and like your full 11. I know you've got some players of such and such a team, but would you find any other players what's not mentioned physical for you?
What, in the United lineup?
In Burnley's?
I think our centre backs are very, very physical. And I think I threw a tweet out the other day about Jordan Bayer, the man we've got on loan from Mönchengladbach. He's brilliant, and I really hope he's one of the main players that we sign on a perm. He's been fantastic, not only from his defending point of view, but he can also from defence run into that midfield and spray out a pass. You know, I think it was for either the first goal or the winner against Borough. It was him who, won the header defensively, got it back quickly, made a run into the midfield, outside of the boot, played it out to Manuel Benson, and he just did the rest. He's so composed for a young lad. Like I say, half of our squad now are 25 and under? No, the bulk of our squad is about 25 and under, and yeah, between him and Taylor Harwood-Bellis, I'd say, and Jack Cork, that sort of 3 defensive triangle will be very physical.
100% by the sounds of it. Yeah, I completely agree. Ravi said, where can Burnley exploit United in the game? If I was looking at it from a Burnley point of view, where I would personally exploit would be Dalot. That's not me having no agendas here, but Dalot can get caught out massively on the counter. I don't think. I think depending who you play on the right, they don't track back. So that's one advantage where I think you can look at exploiting Man United. It would be the wider areas, but depending on who plays at centre back, because I think Martinez is going to be out, and so both Martinez and Varane's going to be out because they both literally played on Sunday. So none of them's going to be used. So it's going to be Maguire and Lindelof. If Ten Hag wants to be very, very optimistic, you bring in Phil Jones over Maguire. But that could be a potential.
What about Tuanzebe?
Tuanzebe's been dead in the dust for. He had a good game against PSG, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, there is that. There is that.
But if you was looking at it from your point of view, where would you think you could exploit us?
I'd probably say the wings. I think we try to play it sideways a little bit. We've got a few players doing the old Jordan Henderson, playing sideways passes, trying to get it out to the wings. But it's just whether our wingers are on point. For me, I wouldn't start Manuel Benson. He's one of those that comes on about 60, 70 minutes and just will take you on for fun. We'll literally take you on for fun. Try this little bit of trickery as well. So, yeah, I'd probably agree with what you said, that the wings is probably our best option.
Reese thinks in the chat our back four would be Williams, Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia. That's how I feel, but I think
quick get her a 20 share box. She's come bolted in.
Yeah, I need. You know what? I should have brought a Mackey's because every time I do a show here, I have Mackey's.
Exactly.
Gutted now.
What you playing at?
I know. And where's your pizza?
Got mini ones here. Mini ones that have gone cold. Shit ton of Pringles, chips, and a good old mince pie. Why not?
Love it. Absolutely
Dicky tea.
Love it. I'm having a Colin the Caterpillar when I get in. So
yes.
Get down the stairs. Love it. I don't think Brandon Williams will play. There's just that part of me where Dalot got knocked out in the quarters. So he's going to be well and truly good enough to play, because you're looking at the Newcastle squad today. Brazil got knocked out at the same time, and they've got Bruno playing in the midfield. So there's no reason why Dalot can't really play. And Brandon Williams is crap. He's absolutely crap. Putting my buddy Maguire next to him, you're asking for bloody trouble. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'll take that. I run, I think it was United Agenda yesterday. Solo asked me to go on there, and yeah, I think he picked his team. He picked like the team that he thought would start. And I was just like, they were all on about whether it would be Dubravka in goal or whether it is De Gea. But when they asked my prediction, which obviously we'll get to later, a bit later, they were questioning. They sort of backtracked a little bit on their answer when I gave my prediction.
Oh, did they have Brandon Williams as a fullback for their prediction? Please tell me. Oh, crikey. Crikey.
Blame Solo. It was Solo's 11.
Oh, crikey poo. Hey there, Static. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat, and thank you for the lovely word. Niall asked, who's been your biggest loss for Burnley since you've dropped down to the Championship? I'm just going to, before I let you answer, if I was you, I'd say nobody. Because if you don't want to play in Championship football, if your team has been relegated, you're not good enough to play the badge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I won't say any player's a big loss. We've not. I think we've done well to replace anyone and everyone that's gone out. And I think it's a tough question to ask that. If we were still playing the same type of football, then maybe. But there's been so much change, so much adaptation that you can't really say, well, are we really missing any of them players? Nah. If anything, we've replaced them with younger, hungrier players that can play more with an attacking minded focus. So yeah, not really any big losses. The only big loss really was relegation itself.
Yeah, I like Coffee mentioned Nick Pope.
Yes, if you were to pick any player, you probably would say Pope. Yeah, but I'm glad to see him doing well at Newcastle anyway.
Yeah, I like Coffee's a Newcastle fan, so I like Coffee will be equally as happy of having Nick Pope. My dad has asked, what's your hopes on for this season?
I'm not getting ahead of myself. As much as I'm excited we're top of the league and things like that, obviously you're buzzing, but I'm still sticking with what I originally said for my prediction for where Burnley finish. I think this season, anywhere in that top 8 is brilliant for me. I did predict us to finish 8th. I do think, though, that we'll do better than that now based on where we're at. You know, they do say the team top at Christmas goes on to get promotion. It's just that nobody knows what's going to happen. Sending off, suspensions, injuries. You know, the January window's around the corner. A player's going to be sniffing since we've, got a bit of success and actually playing football. So, yeah, I'm keeping realistic to it. I know you probably all want to say, the only way is up. That's it. We just, promotions in the bag and exciting football. But I worry if we get promoted this season. I'd rather have had 2 seasons in the champ, work on what we need to get right, iron out all the imperfections and then get promoted. But we're going to have to do it fast track and I think we'll struggle. But then yet again, this is football. Anything can happen. Teams can surprise you. So let's see what we can do against the big boys.
If you was to get promoted, finish first place, I know that'd be brilliant, but how do you feel like you would do with this? If, say, for example, you did make no ingoings and outgoings, how good do you think you would do in the Premier League with the current squad you've got?
It's strange because I'd like to say we'd have some similarities to the results wise. There'd be similarities to the season we got Europa. I think it'd still be grinding out the results, but only grinding them out like a 1-0 here and there. Just because obviously the caliber of players in the Premier League is the game's a lot faster. It's more in your face. There's a lot more quality on the pitch, and you've got to match that. So I'm not saying that it'd be like, yeah, Europa again straight away. But I do believe that we would have relative success and at least be a solid mid-table team, like a bit like a Palace or Brighton of late.
So you think you'll stay up then if you was to, if you was to get promoted? Yeah,
I think we would. Yeah.
And who comes down? That's a good question. I bet you want Leeds after what happened.
I mean, who doesn't want Leeds to go down?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. This season, if I were to choose 3 to go down, I'd love to see Wolves go down. I think they've punched their weight a bit too much, thrown the money around, tried to play, Billy big balls, and it's not paid off. All I've got to say to Wolves is reap what you sow.
Okay.
Since you're full of Portuguese, I'll just give you a wink.
Thanks for the wink, but I must be honest. that there is some good place to be if they was to get relegated. And it'd be good to have a nice Portuguese spine, let's just say.
Yeah, Wolves, Leeds, and you know what? Southampton. They've been flirting with it for God knows how bloody long. Get them gone.
How was they top of the Premier League at one point? Seriously, how?
Matt Letizia.
Ow. Oh, just
To be fair, Blackburn have been top of the Championship 2 or 3 times and then spouted out like they've flaming won the league in like August and September. Get on your back, trash.
100%. My dad has also asked who's your biggest rivals. I know Blackburn's one. Do you have any other rivals? But who's other rivals for you?
Preston, Blackpool, mostly like the local sort of ones, really.
Someone mentioned Wigan. Is Wigan another one?
It has been. I mean, it's not usually really like. Ideally, it's not, but it's sort of Blackburn will always be the biggest, forever be the biggest. Like you cannot go to a game and not have between you and the away supporters. It's literally metal barriers that is like riot shields, just about 7 foot in the air, 8 foot in the air, so you can't see each other, and it's just pure hatred. Like you can't pass the sign that says Ewood Park on the M65 without, as you're driving past, you're just there. Yeah, like as you go past, literally, you cannot go past without either flicking a V, doing the old itchy cheek sort of thing. Sometimes, if I've got the kids in the car, I just go, and then sort of just
know a thing.
None the wiser.
Like...
Yeah. Although it gets to that, and then the kids are being arseholes in the back, and I'll be like, it goes for you too as well.
Poor kids.
I don't really, just to clarify, I don't really. I'm not like a Miss Trunchable over here. I'm all right.
No. Kate said you're Ed Sheeran.
That's me. That is definitely me. No bank balance.
Hey there.
Bad habits. Some could say I've spent it all on bad habits.
Bad habits.
See what I did there? See?
Bad habits. I see what you mean. Hey there, Christmas with Ron. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Merry McTominus. I don't know if I like that one. I don't know if I like that because I'm not a massive fan of McTominay, but I know Vaughn is though. Vaughn loves him. Ravi said, which players in the Burnley midfield link up well with the strikers? Is it Jay Rodriguez who's currently your top goal scorer?
Yeah, J-Rod's a top goal scorer. I'd have to say Nathan Teller, as much as he's been playing sort of like just behind Jay, he is predominantly like a left winger. But in terms of midfielders, if you go in, actual midfielders, Brownhill and Josh Cullen have been brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I cannot, Josh Brownhill is a Premier League player, without doubt. He's a Premier League player, and if we can keep him until the end of the season, he'll definitely be one again, without a doubt.
Yeah. Was Brownhill with you last season as well?
Yeah. Brownhill's been with us now for about 4 years, I think. Something like that.
I done a Burnley career mode, you see, and I got Burnley winning the Premier League. Are you happy?
As a pig in shit would be. Yes, I am.
I made my own super team. I felt like the female Vincent Company. You call me Vinetta of Company. Playing my 4-2-3-1 and all that. Oh, 4-2-3-1 to think of it. Oh, not a fan. Hey there, Vincent. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas also.
Yeah, hope you're well, Vincent.
Ravi asked, is Company good enough to get in the Premier League and stay there? For me, the way he's playing, yes, I would say. But Dan would know a lot more than me.
Yeah, I think so. His man management, the belief, the togetherness of a team that's literally only just got to know each other, still don't know each other inside and out. And it's helped as well by having a couple of the experienced heads in the squad, like Jack Cork, like Ashley Westwood, Ashley Barnes, as well, as much as he does now, apart from turn up against Blackburn and become an instant legend.
He turns up against your rival.
Well, yeah. Hopefully he might turn up against United. We never know. But he's Company for me, plain and simple, definitely good enough.
I felt a bit confident. I would have felt a bit confident when you had Sean Dyche as a manager playing against Burnley at Old Trafford. But knowing that you've got Vincent Kompany as the manager, it scares me a little bit. And the reason why is he hates us because of the Man City link. And the thing is with Vincent Kompany is one of the best centre-backs in Premier League history. There's no doubt about that. And that makes me feel horrible to say as a rival fan, but he's a true leader, and I think he's a good manager to have around for the younger players, and I think he's definitely helped the defence massively as well. I think you didn't really have defensive issues really in the Premier League in general, but I think with Vincent Kompany, he's going to step up a whole bigger level, isn't he, against us?
This is a true test. This is a true test for him. I suppose a nice little warm-up game against Michael Carrick, Middlesbrough manager, the other night. Is a good step in that direction to facing Manchester United. All these United links that he's putting to bed, shall we say. I am looking forward to the battle. I think as a captain of obviously your rival, it's in fact, I dare say it, I know you guys probably won't want to hear it or say it, but one of the best captains in the Premier League era. He just can read a game ridiculously well, and I think, like I say, we're going to see his true mettle as a manager in this fixture tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I know I like Coffee as well said about Vidic being one of the best centre backs. I completely agree. But
yeah, Vidic was outstanding.
But just looking at how Company helped transform the centre back, the defence wise for Man City is great, and
you've got to big him up. He's made Paulo Torre look shit hot.
Well, that's very true. And from what I've been hearing, a lot of Belgian fans want him as the next manager. They're not gonna let him go so quickly either. It's unbelievably daft.
No, I think he's even said that. Obviously, I would love to manage my nationality, but it's wrong timing. Wrong timing in his career. He's still very much learning as a manager. He's only just adapting to the English game in terms of his managerial style. So, yes, he'll have seen he'll have got a few pointers from some very good, managers. But you've got to put your own stamp on it. We see all these managers that say, "Oh, well, he's worked with," like Dash. He'd picked some things up off Brian Clough, but then, Company's had that modern era where he's had the likes of former international managers, Pep, and things like that, and you're just thinking he's going to have something up his sleeve. He's going to have something up his sleeve. And I don't know whether it's going to come tomorrow or not.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting to see, that's for sure. Reese has asked what Company's preferred system is as well. Don't disappoint me with the systems. I'm a system freak. Don't disappoint me.
To be fair, it's like you said, the 4-2-3-1. I know it's horrible to say it, but it works a treat. The way he's got it, the way he's set it up, the way he's done it. Or sometimes you could even look at it as almost like a 4-4-1-1 as well. It's strange how he sort of adapts it, because going forward the formation shifts, but coming back it shifts again. And he's got this sort of the way it tweaks is almost like out of possession. You know, we still try and counter that even out of possession, not regroup, take that, try and regain the shape. We do our best to try and basically, you cut that shit out before they can get anywhere near the goal. So I do like the system we're playing now. It's definitely better than the Dross 4-4-2. You've got to at least admit that, Maisy. Come on.
The 4-4-2 is the worst worst formation in football. I despise it. I despise a 4-2-3-1. I despise the 4-4-2. I despise the 3-4-2-1. I despise that 4-2-2-2. I despise a lot of formations. The only formations I like is a 4-3-3 and a 4-3-3 and a 3-4-3. And I don't like that one what Klopp used. I think it was something like a 4-3-1-2. That was an ugly formation. That was horrible. I was literally looking like, what the hell is this formation all about? I'm literally cringing at it, looking at it. Henry had a question for me. Any worries if United lose to the Clarets? I think for me, this season, and this will be the same with Burnley, it's a bit of a season where we need to see what works well for the manager, what works well for the team. If we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, yes, I'd be upset. Yes, I'd be disappointed. But I'd be disappointed if we got knocked out against Man City, or if we got not any team. I'd be disappointed to be knocked out against. But for me, what we need to look at is getting back into Champions League football. If that's going to concentrate on Europa, or if that's going to concentrate on getting top 4, I'd love a trophy. I really would. We need a trophy, but if we get knocked out, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'd be upset. Let's just say I wouldn't be worried, because it's still a development year for the manager. I'm not gonna cut the manager's head off for losing the game, unlike some other fans. Vincent's gone 4-0 for United. Ravi's gone for 2-1 for Burnley. Do you know what this means, Dan, when Ravi predicts United to lose?
Means United will win.
We either win or draw. We never, at no time has Ravi predicted us to win or lose, and we've lost. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry I disappointed you. People are talking about formations of managers. And
well, I was just looking at what Reece said. We did try that 4-2-2-2, and that did pretty well. That did pretty well as well. But then yet again, we played it against Shrewsbury, so
it's not a nice formation, Reece.
No,
it's not a magnificent formation. Richard said they played a 9-1-0. And I like Goffy said Steve Bruce played 10-0-0. So let's go more into the comments as well. Reese has gone for 2-1 for United. Just me, are you doing a watch along? I'll be doing a watch along on his channel tomorrow. Dan's link for the channel is in the description below, so go and check Dan out. And what I'll do, I'll put it on the community tab as well, so if you're struggling to find the link, you can come on and pop in and give the predictions on the chat as well.
Feel free to abuse me if you're 1-0 up or whatever. Don't worry, I can take the shit. I can take it. I'm not that football fan that will literally like get a load of abuse and just be like, I'm going to find your address. I'm going to come round to your house. I'm going to like kick your dog, and just that's it. Like me and you are gonna have words. Nah, I'll just laugh it off. I'll give it back. I don't care. I like it. That.
Yeah, Dan takes things on the chin, which is brilliant.
But which chin is the question? I've got about 4, so I just had it very well with this little shitty beard.
Henry said, "Who do you see going up with the Clarets, Dan?" That's a good question. I need to
Can't rule out Sheffield United. Sheffield United are in
I wouldn't mind Sheffield United.
really good form. Yeah. And I wouldn't mind a newbie in the playoffs. I wouldn't mind a team that we've not either seen in a long time or someone that it's been maybe a while. Someone like a Luton or, in fact, I forgot who's in there at the minute. I wouldn't mind a QPR at the time.
Yeah.
But they can get stuff now.
They've got one of our loan players as well. One of our players on loan. I wouldn't mind Birmingham back in the Prem.
Yeah. Yeah, Birmingham would be interesting.
They've been good considering there's everything what's gone on with their ownership. They've got a couple of a loanee of ours as well, and I said I wouldn't mind Blackpool just because Blackpool haven't been in there a long time.
Yeah, Blackpool's
like up in the dust. Let's just say, Richard, get Millwall up. I don't know.
No. I'm not being funny. If Millwall go up to the Prem, there'll be more policing needed there than there was for the Flaming Queen's funeral. It'd be absolute carnage, like you said, carnage.
I hope you're well, Rich. Thank you for coming into the chat. I like coffee. Can Dan help us unlock Chris Wood's potential again? I don't.
Like a bull ring. You know, like when they send a raging bull in and someone's got a red flag and they're like this to the side. Do it with an offside flag. Watch him. In fact, you get that offside flag, he's already 10 yards ahead of it before you put it up. You know, in his comfort zone. So don't worry about it. There's never been any potential with him. He's pissed a lot of Burnley fans off when he said, you know, at Burnley I was in my comfort zone, and you don't really do your best work when you're in your comfort zone. No, the only thing you were wrapped up in is the comfort blanket called the offside flag. That was it, because you spent half your time offside. Yes, you scored some pivotal goals for us. I'll give you that. But you were not a £20-odd million player that Newcastle spent money on. Thank you for the money, by the way, because if it wasn't for you, maybe we wouldn't be in as much crap, or we would have been in more crap. But hey ho, enjoy Chris Wood. Enjoy what you get out of him or not get out of him.
Doesn't sound like a lot, let's just say.
No, definitely not.
Hey there, Andrew. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Upper United. Hey there, Liam. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Should be a competitive game, definitely. Hey there, Aubrey, my friend. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Rich said, "Is it vital Burnley come back up this season?"
No, I don't think it's vital. As I said, for me, I'd rather have another season in the Championship to iron out the imperfections. But I just don't want us to become one of them teams like a West Brom, like a Norwich, like a Watford, just, you know, yo-yoing. I don't want that. We're not known for that anyway. We are known for sort of, you know, going up, making a good go of it, and then sort of take it from there. So I wouldn't say it's vital. Not really.
Mm-hmm. I like Coffee said, if Burnley get promoted when Weghorst return, I don't even think you'd want him.
Again, another player who's peed fans off, because as soon as he went to the Championship, he was almost like, I'm not playing in there. Yeah, you came to the club, played around, 20 games, scored about 2 goals, something like that. Like, really? Like, if anything, why can't you do something like Mitrovic? You could have come to the Championship. You've not even give Kompany a chance because you've not even played under him yet. You know, his philosophy may have suited you a lot better. You may have been able to become a goal machine like Mitrovic in this back end of his career. I can understand why he wanted the move, you know, with the World Cup looming and things like that. But if you go,
there's Championship players though in the World Cup.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't understand it. To be fair, even Louis van Gaal actually said that he didn't want him to go to Besiktas. He'd have preferred him to have stayed at Burnley, to be fair. But Besiktas have a €10 million fee if they want to sign him perm. I think they'll pay it up.
My dad has asked, who's your best player for Burnley up to now?
It's changed about 4 times. It's been Nathan Teller. I'd say Nathan Teller's been up there. But recently, I've been absolutely loving Jordan Bayer at centre-back.
Okay. There's some other ones that we need to look out for. Writing them down. Henry, when is Varane and Maguire back? My Varane's supposed to be injured, so I don't have a clue. Maguire's supposed to be back, so yeah, advantage Burnley. Liam said, be nice to challenge for the Carabao Cup, but top 4 is a priority. Completely agree with that. Richard said, what's company's biggest pro and con? That's a good question.
That is. Was not expecting that. You bar stool. I would say his biggest pro is his man management.
Okay.
His man management of the team sort of have been like that. You can just see the togetherness. The players, even when they're coming off on the substitutions, he's hugging them. It's such like a little family atmosphere, and I think you've got to create something like that, because if you have that and you have that good team harmony, it helps. Cons. Greg Bellamy is his number 2.
You couldn't find one, so you just had to be a bit.
No, it was either that or he's a sexier bold bloke than me. So.
And he also asked, when's the next Spice Challenge?
I don't know. It depends when Emma Bunton or Jerry Halliwell's free. No, jokes aside, I don't think I'll be doing sparse. The sparse things they've sort of had an effect on me. I think I've got a hernia. But I don't know. I just get a lot of pain sometimes now when I eat something spicy, so it's not great. That said, I am thinking of something for when it gets to 1K, and then that's it. Challenges out the window unless I do something for charity. But I've been told to stand outside the Jack Walker statue at Ewood Park wearing Burnley gear, eating a ham and pineapple pizza, but because that's just disgusting. I hate that. Hate it. But I don't know. I want to think of something a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe get me back waxed for charity or something like that.
Back waxed? Ooh. And Kate will be doing the back wax.
If she did it, she'd get tweezers. She won't even wax it. She'd just get tweezers and go, I'm going to make sure you suffer.
Well, it is for YouTube, so
it is.
If Kate's doing it, I'm watching it. Henry's going for an upset for 2-1 for Burnley. So before we do wrap up, do you see a rotated squad coming into this game? After, of course, you played a full match day and you made a few match days.
We've got a lot of games coming up. And obviously the Championship's going to be the most important.
Very intense.
We've got, I think, a game on the 27th against Birmingham, then a game against Stoke on. So yeah, we've got a Tuesday night game, the day after Boxing Day. Then on the 30th, we've got Stoke away. Then we're away to Swansea on the 2nd of Jan, and then we're away at Bournemouth on the 7th. So we're literally we haven't got time to basically wipe our arses before we're already, getting our boots back on and having to kick a ball again. So I'm going to say there's going to be the odd one or two, but it depends how company looks at this. For me, does he look at this game and think Carabao Cup 4th round, or does he look at this as Carabao Cup round of 16? How does he approach it, and how does he look at it? Hairiest bald man ever. She's saying I'm like a mole rat. Like a chimp with a bald head. Although knowing her, it'd probably be more gorilla. Gorilla with a face like a baboon's arse.
If you are going to see any... how can I say? If you are going to see any rotations, where do you think you're going to rotate?
I think defensively we'll pretty much play, full strength. Maybe the odd one or two out wide, and potentially Ashley Barnes up top. I think the physicality of Barnes in this game will be quite a big thing as well. Even if he just sort of does like a Harry Kane role, not really getting on the score sheet, but coming deep, getting the wingers involved. So maybe the one up top and a one or two out wide or in midfield. But I think from that the back four and the keeper, I think would be relatively the same.
Okay. That sounds good with me. So we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Dan, for coming on. It's been a great show, and it's been great catching up with you and doing great football, not international football.
Yes.
Would you like to shout out your socials?
I will. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, Maisy, when I said earlier what my prediction was going to be.
Yes.
Like I said, they said, Solo put Dubravka in goal.
Okay. I'd have Dubravka in goal. I'd be happy with Dubravka.
Mr. B and Andy Tate said David De Gea. However, they then changed their mind when I said I could probably see this game going all the way and to penalties. And they said, well, if it goes to penalties and it's De Gea, then we're out. So I'm not sure. I do think it's got penalty shootout written all over it. And they were just like, oh no, Burrow all over again. But yeah, pens for me. And as I say, thank you for having me. Check me out at Turf Morehouse, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, obviously. And no, thank you. Really appreciate it, Maisy, and keep doing the good work that you're doing. Because you're absolutely smashing it.
Thank you so much, Dan. It means a lot. A lot of people are thinking Dubravka. I'd be happy with Dubravka in goal, I must be honest. And I think it's been good to catch up about Burnley. I've been watching the odd game with Burnley and stuff, so it's been great to catch up.
Get to watch another one tomorrow as well. Result.
I know. Well, and then eating McDonald's with you. So yes, get in. But thank you all very, very much for watching. If you're new, smash that like button, subscribe button, and also go and subscribe to Turf Morehouse. Absolutely smashing it. Let's get down there to 1K subscribers. Really, really deserves it. Does fantastic work on the channel. This will be my last show on here until after Christmas. So everybody have a lovely Christmas. I'll be back with a Forest preview after Christmas, so go and check it out for that. I'll only be doing previews for the meantime. So thank you, everybody. Take care, have a lovely evening, and have a lovely Christmas. And don't get too drunk, people. Take care. Bye-bye. That includes Dan, Mr. Dan. Don't get too drunk.
Not promise anything.
Bye-bye, people.